In David Fincher's The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, a journalist is aided in his search for a woman who has been missing for 40 years by a young computer hacker named Lisbeth Salander.
She's one of the best investigators I had.
But?
She's different.
In what way?
In every way.
This is Harriet.
Someone in the family murdered Harriet. And for the past 40 years has been trying to drive me insane.
I have not read any of Stieg Larsson's original novels, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, The Girl Who Played with Fire, or The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest, but I had heard of them, of course, and I knew that there was a Swedish trilogy of films. But when I heard that David Fincher was doing an American version, I was a little confused because I'm a big fan of just showing the foreign film in the States. I don't know why people can't read subtitles. It's a little pathetic to me, but it seemed that they were going a different direction with it in a way, and I have not seen the original, so I don't know if the David Fincher version is basically a carbon copy, or if it is completely different, or if it's different from the book. All I can say is that I have seen the David Fincher version, and that is all that I know. So this review is from the point of view of someone who knew nothing and just saw the David Fincher movie. That's it. I'm a big fan of David Fincher, so I was looking forward to it primarily just due to David Fincher, and also because Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross were doing the score, and they did an amazing job on the Social Network score, and I thought it was incredible. So I was excited for their teaming up again, and I finally got to see it, and I have to say that while I thought it was very good, I don't understand all the hype. I still don't understand, even after seeing it. To be quite honest with you, I can't understand what is so special about The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Not the character, but the book, I guess, or the movie. I don't understand. It seems like a pretty simple story. Maybe it is the primary thing that makes people like it, the character of Lisbeth Salander, because I could understand that. She was great, and Rooney Mara, I'll get to it, but I thought she was awesome. But story-wise, I don't really understand. I thought the story was pretty straightforward, and I was really sitting there waiting in the theater for all right, where's the crazy part coming? Why does everybody love this so much? And don't get me wrong, I thought it was great, but I thought that, it was great because of the filmmaking more than the story. So I don't really understand that. Maybe you can help me out in the comments if you know why people go crazy for it. Maybe you need to read the rest of the books or see the original trilogy to appreciate it more. I don't know. But just going on David Fincher's film, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good film. But I definitely don't understand the hype at all. So going into the filmmaking, like I said, I enjoyed the filmmaking more than anything else, meaning David Fincher's work. I thought that he did a great job. He's able to make something that could potentially be somewhat dull very, very compelling, like Social Network, for example. That was not necessarily the most exciting subject matter, but he made it very exciting. And I would say the same thing here, although the problem is that the movie is way too long. So, if it was a little shorter, it would have been way more compelling, I feel like. But he still definitely made it very interesting and exciting, and I was wondering the whole time what was going to happen. And going back to the story, I really didn't care once I find out what happened, to be honest with you. Again, it just was very straightforward. I didn't get my mind blown or anything, so maybe I missed something, but, overall I did enjoy it because of the work that David Fincher did on it, and the score as well. Like I said, I was excited for the score. Thought the score was very good. Specifically, one thing that I will mention towards the end of this review that when I talk about some spoilers, so look forward to that. Acting-wise, the acting was, I think, one of the other best parts of the film. I forgot to mention that. The acting was excellent. Daniel Craig, I always expect good acting from Daniel Craig. I really like Daniel Craig. I think he's very cool, and I think he's I don't know, I just think he's a really good actor. But Rooney Mara, of course, is the one who's kind of under the microscope here. She did an amazing job, I thought.
Sometimes he pleasures her. Not often enough, in my opinion.
I didn't even see her at all. It was like difficult to say, like, is that Rooney Mara? Because all I know her from is The Social Network. But in The Social Network, she was like adorable. She was very cute. And then in this movie, she's, well, I feel like you know, a lot of people would look at it and be like, man, she's ugly. But she wasn't ugly at all. She was very attractive as this character, but in almost not in a way that is conventional, obviously. She wasn't conventionally attractive, but she was almost like, it was almost like you couldn't look away. And it was very, very interesting. I don't know. It was very interesting. And like, obviously, I guess that's what the character is in the book. But, yeah, I thought she did a really good job with it, and I can't compare to the book, obviously, but overall, I think that her acting, you know, she slipped into this character, and I thought she kind of disappeared into it, so I thought she did a really, really great job. There's way too many more people in this movie for me to get specific, so I'm going to say everybody did a very good job. I thought the acting was just, there was no problem with the acting at all. Like, literally, not a single person did I think, you know, oh, they're just acting. Everybody was totally into it, and that really definitely added to it. And the last thing I will mention before I discuss some spoilers is the title sequence, which was awesome. I don't know necessarily that it fit with the movie, but it was definitely awesome, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. The song, of course, the Immigrant Song cover that we've heard before was sick. That whole sequence was just awesome. I would watch that sequence again many times. I don't know that I would watch the whole movie again many times. It's 2 hours and 30 or 40 minutes. It's too long. David Fincher, it's too long. That really is like the main flaw with it, I'd say, aside from the fact that I thought the story was not really that crazy. But the movie's a little too long, but the title sequence, I would watch that over and over again. Maybe I'll get that on DVD. But overall, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is a very good movie. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't a good movie. I mean, David Fincher does an amazing job with what he's got, but I just think that what he's got isn't really that special. But once again, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I need to watch the rest of the films that if they make them, or watch the original trilogy or read the books to fully appreciate the whole spectrum of it. Or maybe it's just the whole hype about it is just about the Salander character, which I can understand because it's very cool. But I felt like this movie was less about the character, more about the investigation, and I didn't think the investigation was all that. So there you go. Now I'm going to talk about some spoilers for The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, so if you have not seen the film, please do not watch the rest of this. Click the annotation that just popped up right here to get out of here, and once you've seen The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, you can come back and continue watching. So I'd like to just discuss the whole, you know, the plot and why I wasn't super surprised by it or, you know, blown away by it, I guess. I don't understand. So I might be wrong here, but what I got out of it was that the motivation for killing women was just for the sake of killing women. So is that it? Or like, are they just like to kill people or they like to kill women? If that's the case, I don't really like that. I feel like that's just, okay, so they like to kill women. I thought there was going to be like, they were trying to cover something up, like they did something illegal, they were trying to cover it up, these women knew about it somehow, or I don't know, anything. But I feel like it was just so simple and like too obvious almost. But maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm looking too far into it because it's, you know, whatever. It was a twist. I didn't know who was who was doing the killing and all that. But and I mean, I have to say, I did appreciate the Harriet related surprise where it ended up that she was living in London this whole time. I thought that was cool. I didn't see that coming. But and you know, when it started to reveal who did what, I was like, there's got to be something else. And then when they got into the basement, I was like, oh man, there's going to be something crazy now. But it just, I don't know, the basement looked cool, and I thought it was going to lead to a little bit more, like they were doing some kind of like experiments or something. But no, nothing. And I don't know, I was a little bit let down by that. But the other thing I wanted to mention was, what I thought was awesome was in the score. This was like kind of embedded in the score almost. There's a part where they're sitting with Martine, I believe is his name. They're sitting with him, and he... well, you can't really hear it, I guess, unless you're looking for it, but, and I only noticed this because I saw somebody mention it, and I was like, I do remember that, I do. In the score, there's like a scream embedded into the music, and you can't even tell that it's a scream, but it's in the house, it's when they're in Martine's house, and Martine looks to the side, and then he asks if they want more wine, I think, and he goes off to get it, and he's obviously going into the basement, because he says later on in the film that he had somebody tied up down there, or, I mean, in the cage. So, you know, thinking back, I didn't realize it during the movie, which of course is perfect, but thinking back, I definitely remember that, and I think that's awesome. That's seriously really awesome. So I wouldn't see the movie again, because it's too damn long. But, and also, like I said, I didn't really get much out of it, so I don't know why I would, but, I would like to see that scene again. So I might have to check it out once more just for that. And that is really all I have to say about the girl with the dragon tattoo. I hope nobody misunderstands. I thought it was very good. I thought the filmmaking was great. I thought the acting was great. It's just that the story I thought was less exciting and less mind-blowing, I guess, than I expected based on the hype, so I really don't understand the hype. But overall, I did enjoy it, and I'd like to know what you thought about it, so please tell me in the comments what you thought about the girl with the dragon tattoo. But if you're going to talk about anything spoiler-related, please put a spoiler tag first so that people hopefully won't read it and won't have it ruined for them. So let me know anything you thought about the girl with the dragon tattoo, and that's pretty much it.